everyone, and welcome back to Socially Joe, episode 29, part 2 of Joy Leitner. We were talking about Medicare and Medicaid. So therefore, I'm going to turn it over to Joy to give us a little brief recap of what we talked about on episode 28. Go ahead, Joy.
Hi, Joy Leitner, Insurance Planning Solutions. I specialize in insurance you do not have to die to use. So Living Solutions, we were talking about health insurance and health insurance options because it's health insurance season is coming. On our last episode, when we left our gallant hero Joe, he had just found out that health insurance enrollment season was closing in fast. Oh no, what to do? Let's recap our options. If you're a Medicare beneficiary, remember our health algebra? Hey Joe, you gonna help me with this?
I'll try.
Okay, let's see what you remember. A plus B equals?
C to the squared.
That's what you said last time.
I know. It's one of those things. I'm still learning Medicare and Medicaid myself. I'm getting close to those ages, but man, it's a lot.
See how much he studies, right? Okay, A plus B equals original Medicare. So there are two roads that are most traveled by when it comes to Medicare. We've got A plus B plus a Medicare supplement plus D. That's our first math equation. Med-sups or Medigaps. Medicare supplements, Medigap policies, synonymous, they're private insurance. So, and then the road 2, which is A plus B plus C plus D equals coverage. And this is the government subsidized. Just a reminder, A equals hospitals, B equals, or anything inpatient, B is anything outpatient, C is Medicare Advantage, and D is for, do you remember that one?
Prescription drugs?
Drugs, yes, very nice.
Yay, I got one.
You got one. So, in 2021, Medicare plan info for Part C and D plans is released on October 1st. And AEP, which is annual enrollment period for Medicare, starts October 15th and goes through December the 7th for a January 1 enrollment date. Now, all C and D plans, this applies to C and D plans, Part C, Part D is in dog. They have a 12-month contract with the government to offer benefits, and they change each year. So you must reevaluate every year. Even if you love what you have this year, it may not be the same next year, so it is always important to look. Now, for everyone else who is not eligible for Medicare, or Medicaid for that matter, there are also two options available to the general public. Qualified ACA plans, and that's Affordable Health Care Act plans, which is also known as Obamacare, purchased through the exchange. They're called qualified plans, or underwritten short-term plans, which are purchased privately. Now, either of these are an option. The annual enrollment for the qualified plans, so the government subsidized ones are, again, the only ones that have an annual enrollment time. That starts November the 1st and goes through December the 15th for the January 1 start date. Private plans are usually available at any time of the year, whether it's Medicare or whether it's for under 65 people. It's just that those would have underwriting in most cases. In Medicare, there's a certain period where you may not have underwriting, but the rest of the time there is underwriting involved. So at this point, our hero Joe was so thoroughly inundated with information, and we left him with a health insurance headache, shaking his head and asking.
I was on my knees praying to the Medicare God saying, what choices do I have in front of me?
Exactly. So now, how do we come to make these choices? So first thing you need to do is take these 3 items, or actually 4 items, and write them down and arrange them in order that is most important to you. When you're trying to choose a plan, whether it's Medicare or under 65, or I should say under 65, or everybody else. Everybody else, of course, who doesn't have an employer plan. And if you have an employer plan, yay, you're lucky. As long as it's creditable coverage for Medicare, you're in, or it covers your needs for essential benefits, fabulous. But for everybody else who's out here, take these items down. You've got your premium, which is the expense that you pay each month for the plan, whether you use it or not. Your out-of-pocket costs, the cost sharing that's involved in the plan, like co-payments, which are usually a dollar amount, co-insurance, which is a percentage, and then there might be an out-of-pocket maximum to the plan. If it's qualified, there will be. What your doctors, if you have doctors that you absolutely have to keep and have to use and have to check the network to make sure. I mean, some people may not have doctors and they don't care, so that might be further down the list. And then prescriptions. If you have prescriptions and you need a plan that's going to cover those prescriptions, write those down. Now take these 4 things. So you've got premium, out-of-pocket expense, doctors, and prescriptions, and put them in order that is important to you. This will help you when you're starting to decide on what kind of plan that you want. Say if premium is really important to you. Say, oh, I just can't afford a premium. I can't afford that much in premium. And then you might go for a qualified plan if you're under 65 and you're looking for an affordable health care plan. If you make under 400% of the poverty level, then you can qualify for a subsidy to help you with that premium. And depending on how much closer you are to the poverty level, there are different cost-sharing reductions that takes down the out-of-pockets and lowers expenses, out-of-pocket costs significantly the closer you get to the poverty level. So that might help you. We may need to look at a qualified plan. But say you don't qualify for the subsidy, but maybe premium is important to you and you could pass underwriting, maybe you'd want to consider going for a short-term plan. They call them short-term plans because the government only allows you to have them for have them written for up to 3 consecutive terms on one underwriting. Some companies offer 3, some only offer 2, just depends. Out-of-pocket costs. Say, well, I've got the premium and I'm happy to pay maybe more in premium if I can get lower out-of-pocket costs. Look and see how your out-of-pocket costs go, because every qualified plan has a maximum that they can charge you in out-of-pocket. If you go for a non-qualified plan, then you could actually choose a higher out-of-pocket maximum in order, or deductible in order to get a lower premium. When you're in Medicare, all of the Medicare plans have an out-of-pocket maximum by law as well. So if you're looking at a Medicare Advantage plan, which may or may not have a premium, by the way, there's a lot of plans that don't have a premium. They do have cost sharing, and then they have different levels of out-of-pocket maximums, but every Medicare Advantage plan has an out-of-pocket maximums. Your HMOs traditionally are usually lower in costs than the PPOs, but that's not always the case. You really have to look at everything on a case-by-case basis. Doctors, if it's really important to have all your doctors in the network, and you have a lot of doctors, you may find that although an HMO might keep your costs down, that maybe you can't get all your doctors in that HMO network. And the HMO says, well, you have to use doctors in our network, so that might not be an option for you. Prescription drugs. Now, when it comes to Medicare, it's relatively simple. We put all the prescriptions in the magic Medicare machine and it comes up with a cost. Has to be done every year because, boy, do those change every year. The other plans, qualified ACA plans, or even underwritten short-term plans, they may or may not have prescription drug coverage involved. So very important, if prescription drug coverage, you may have to find something else, another additional prescription drug plan to cover things. So once you have all these things in order, you can use them to guide you towards a plan that might work for you. So, Joe, are you a DIY guy?
I am.
Oh, you are. What's your favorite DIY project?
To tell you the truth, I love to, like, I don't know, but my DIY projects are like construction. So I was always into modeling or like modeling clay and building stuff. So I love constructing stuff like with stones or wood. So like little houses, posts, something like that. I don't know.
Okay. Well, for me, it's like yard maintenance. I really do want to take care of my yard, and I can't. But, in order to take care of my yard, I need the equipment. Right now, I don't even have a flippin' lawnmower. Okay, so I need to go get one of those. And I'm smart enough to figure out, maybe if I don't know about a plant, I can go and look it up and figure out what I don't know. I don't know everything about every plant in my yard, so I may make some mistakes. And in the end, I will get it done. But it would have been a bit faster if I would just go get a professional that has all the equipment to come in here and swoop in here and take 1 hour, and it'll end up looking 10 times better than I did when working in my spare time for a whole week. So when you're looking for health insurance, it's much the same way. For your DIYers, you can go to socialsecurity.gov if you're a Medicare person, because that's where you need to start, and then go to medicare.gov. You can look at your Medicare and New Handbook, which I heard that they've already been mailed out, and people are getting a sneak peek on the season, even though things aren't supposed to be released until October 1st. I heard people have them. And if you're a non-Medicare beneficiary, then you can go to healthcare.gov, and you can look at all sorts of great things there. They're fabulous tools, but they may not have all the details on everything. You can call 800 Medicare or call the exchange, but keep in mind you're going to find people on the other end of the line that aren't necessarily living in your area. And although they're trained well, they may not know all of the nuances about the different hospitals and the different doctors in your area. So a good source of knowledge are local health insurance agents. Finding an independent one that has contracts with a lot of different companies is very important. And people are often scared to go find help, or, scared of a little apprehensive. I would say scared, but apprehensive, not very trustworthy, I know. I hired somebody, I had to do my yard, and he snipped my crotons, and I was really kind of upset about that. So, but you'll find that when you're looking at health insurance, there's so much information out there. Right, Joe?
Yes, there is.
Just wait till you start peeling apart all these plans, because there's tons of companies that have tons of different plans. More so in Medicare right now than there is in under 65. But there's more actually. It's not a spoiler alert, secret. Soon there's more companies coming to this area that are going to offer ACA plans on the exchange again. We started out with a lot. We're going to end up having more. So I know it's hard to trust somebody, but finding an independent agent that looks out for your needs and your wants is a really, really good thing to have. Did you know it was illegal? It's illegal for people to charge you, in Medicare especially. It would be illegal for me to charge a fee.
Really?
Yeah, people will ask me, "Oh, how much do you charge for your services?" And I'm like, nothing. It would be a felony, I think, that we're not allowed to. And did you also know that all of the rates for all of the Medicare plans and even the supplements, even